So one of the more interesting mysteries that's been talked about from the beginning of this arc for over a year was kind of somewhat maybe answered in Dragon Ball Super episode 127 when we found out about Jiren's backstory. But like with Dragon Ball Super, just when you think you have all the answers, they change the questions. And I feel like we actually now have more questions based on what we saw from 127. So careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. I'm sure everybody watching this already has, but if you haven't, check it out, then come back to the video because I want to have a discussion about Jiren's backstory and what it means and what it could mean for the future of the franchise. So joining me on this video to discuss Jiren's backstory, check him out. He's been here before. TR4 G1C Tragic. Hello.
You began to enjoy to say that now.
I enjoy spelling out your name, bro. It's like when Fabulous first started rapping back in 98 and he would spell his own name on every song. Fabolous.
Yeah, I think maybe I got inspired by that. I don't know. What's up, guys?
It might have been 2000. I don't remember.
Could have been.
It was back then. So Fabolous. So let's talk about, speaking of tragic, all right, freaking Jiren is a tragic story. So
yeah,
we found out that when he was a kid, a mysterious villain appeared and killed his family. Now, that villain, we don't know who that villain was, but I can tell you who it wasn't, and that's Goku Black. And I knew, bro, like I knew when I did my review, I called it. I said, people are going to start saying it's Goku Black. And the next day, bro, I got blown up. And I don't know if people are just trolling me. I don't know if they're screwing around with me. But people actually think it's Goku Black. It is not Goku Black.
No.
It's not Goku Black. No. If they reveal it to be Goku Black, we're going to have a lot more questions on that. It's not Goku Black.
Yeah, if it's revealed that it's a.k.a. Zamasu, a.k.a. Goku Black, then we have massive questions to ask about all this other timeline loops and all this other stuff. And I know that's a topic that we just don't even want to talk about.
Let's not even entertain it, bro, because it's not Goku Black. Yeah. But we know he's a villain. Yeah, they introduced him as like a shadowy guy. He killed Jiren's family. Then Jiren was picked up by this mysterious old Obi-Wan Kenobi guy. Mm-hmm. And then he was trained up. And from what we understand, this is not really made clear, but at one point, Jiren created this sort of, I don't want to say like an army, but like a clan of fighters. And they all went to go fight this dude. And he killed pretty much all of them except Jiren. But I don't remember the episode specifically stating that Jiren was able to beat him, though. Is he still alive is one of the big questions. Did the episode say that he beat him?
The episode, okay, so this is
very interesting.
This is where kind of a lot of people have different, like, of saying like backstory or roots or anything like that. I consider it the roots, but I'm not saying the backstory is wrong or history of like a lot of people have been saying. But I think this is more of the story of the roots of Jiren's strength. And no, they did not talk about him specifically beating him. But we could take it as a presumption that maybe he did or maybe he didn't. The weird thing about this is Belmood knows more about his story than anybody else. And there was a time that actually Jiren goes off and tells Belmood to shut up. So that's kind of like there's more that is not being told to us. Did he beat him? We don't know. That is a good question to ask. I don't think he did. I think he just he utilized that as a strength or a means to become stronger and eventually find out who that individual is and bury that, forever. That could be the reason that maybe 17 was pushing his button so much and trying to figure out, like, you're trying to bury your past. And maybe that was like, that was creating the moment. I made a video. I don't like promoting other people's stuff, but I made a video about PTSD and anime.
Very good video.
And anime and stuff like that. And we can definitely tell that Jiren has gone through those real traumatic type of situations. And it's interesting that right now he is actually really kind of tied in with Vegeta right now, being two individuals that both have had their families kind of killed right in front of them type of thing, or have seen their families die in front of them type of thing.
Yeah, it wasn't in front of Vegeta, but it definitely happened. I mean, Vegeta didn't care, but it affected him. It affected him subconsciously. Jiren seemed to have really cared, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Jiren, like, walked in the house and all of a sudden, he's seen his mom being killed and what seemed like a silhouette.
And that's why people are saying it's Goku Black, because it reminds them of that first Trunks episode,
right?
The shadowy figure. But it's not. It's an artistic way of showing a mysterious villain. But then, of course, that brings up another question: why are they not showing what he looks like? And I think that could lead to a storyline later on. I could totally see them doing a Jiren TV special or a Jiren movie or a Jiren manga, really going into detail on this, because I think there's more stories to be told on this.
Yeah, I definitely would like to know a little. I would like to actually know the history of Jiren himself as a fighter per se. Because right, because this is like a little, like a teaser film, like, you know what I mean, like they just threw a teaser at us. And the thing about this is, what the question that I have is, well, not really a question, but the assumption that I have or take from this is, if you think about it, Jiren was basically a child or whatever it may be. He got rescued by, what seemingly looking is another, race type of person who became
a strong warrior.
Yeah, who became his master. So people gotta kind of understand this. That person that trained Jiren had to been also massively powerful. Universe 11 has some powerful people.
But that dude was killed by the adversary, the mysterious adversary.
Yeah, that is correct.
And so were all of Jiren's buddies. But they never said that Jiren actually beat the guy.
Yeah,
they didn't. I don't know if they even implied it. It's like the next scene we have Vermouth talking about how Jiren felt like his allies had betrayed him.
Right.
Or whatever. I don't know if the word betray was actually used. I'm trying to think of
no, I think it was kind of. It's kind of stated around those same lines. Basically the betrayal of.
They abandoned him.
They abandoned him. He didn't have no allies. He didn't have no friends. So he became a loner, and he pursued strength. And from that point on, he kept going on and pursuing strength. And then eventually, Belmood actually goes off and is interested in him. And because he's interested in him, he started gaining more allies, and that became the Pride Troopers. He gained new allies, new powerful allies around him and stuff like that. And that's kind of interesting, because someone a god of destruction seeks out for him. He basically seeks out new allies and new people. The question that I have that kind of boggles my mind is, Jiren has this master, like he's a master, you know what I mean? Like he's a sensei type of attitude, even with Toppo. So
yeah, he was disappointed that Toppo.
Right. So is he the actual trainer of all these guys, and he just kind of a loner type of being, and he kind of does his own thing? That's kind of an interesting situation, because he always even when he attacked when he was dealing with Kale, Toppo was like, no, I'll send these guys. He's like, no, I got it. You know what I mean? It's like he couldn't trust them, and that's why we had 17 kind of tell us like, oh, you just use these people for your power, for your means and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting, because that
was a very interesting line too. Right. Yes, thank you for bringing that up.
Because there's a lot of masters, even in like the old movies, right? The old martial arts movies from back in the days. You had some masters that only utilized their students, that became strong around them, for a means. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to use you because you're powerful at this, and I can you utilize your talents to make myself even more powerful and more stronger, and own territory.
Hey, Goku kind of did that too with Gohan. I mean, he made himself stronger. Right. So it's just, there's that, and then his allies left him. So I mean, the story. Okay, the narrative they're trying to tell us, and I want to make this very clear to everybody out there listening, because I like to talk about Dragon Ball on a much deeper level. My channel is not a freaking hype man channel. We're talking about spoilers and crap like that. We actually discuss this series in a deeper level here, and I'm hoping that's why people sub. I hope so. The whole thing is this. Look, the idea, the narrative is telling us that Jiren has feelings of abandonment. His family was killed. His friends were killed. His friends abandoned him. It's like he's a loner. Ultimate loner, maybe even more so than Vegeta. Mm-hmm. So for him to have been accepted into a group like the Pride Troopers and being their go-to guy, even though he's not the actual leader, it's implied that Toppo and Casserole are above him as far as ranks go, even though he's the strongest guy. He's more just like a secret weapon, like a secret super soldier, pretty much is what he is. Mm-hmm. That's the narrative they're telling us. But I feel like with that narrative, it's opened up so many more questions, because now it's, does Jiren want to, those friends that abandoned him, does he have like, vengeful feelings towards them? Is that mysterious villain still alive? Who was his master? There's all these questions they raise in this episode that, to be realistic, we might never get an answer to. I'm not saying we aren't going to get an answer. Mm-hmm. I'm saying we may never get an answer. And that is going to irritate some people, and I can't even blame them for being irritated. Tragic man.
My thing is, I think this is going to be an interesting thing, is what if like you were stating, the Pride Troopers kind of came around him and accepted him. What if it's not that way? What if it's the other way around? What if it's, he was this guy who's massively powerful, became strong, and started his own movement or his own cause, and the Pride Troopers gathered around him, meaning, like a renaissance, you start, one guy's kind of doing his own thing, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, yo, we're going to start a group, and we're going to name it after that, and we're going to be the Pride Troopers. Right, yeah. We're going to be the Pride Troopers because he has pride and he has strength, and we're going to fight about justice, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to utilize strength to be able to overcome these things. Could potentially be, I mean, we've seen that in a lot of cartoons, a lot of movies, a lot of animes and stuff like that over the millenniums, it seems like. That could be the thing, and that's what's making me believe that we're probably looking at this a little bit different. It could be that Jiren is actually kind of the head of all this, and because we have Belmood actually confirm, because of his strength is why I pursued him. You know what I mean? Like, he does state that. Belmood does state, because of his strength, because of who he is why I pursued him. Could that be part of another reason? I mean, because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of twisted, missing, like, not misinformation, but there's missing information in this, especially having Jiren kind of tell Belmood to shut up. I would love to have known what else he had to say about the whole thing.
No, it's just there's just so many unanswered questions. We might get the answer, but
I'm hoping.
I don't know if we're gonna get it in Super. This might be something that's saved for some other thing, maybe a video game or something. I don't know, dude. But
it'll probably be in the manga.
I hope so. That's true. People were saying that the episode that those flashback scenes reminded them of like other anime like Naruto and Yu Yu Hakusho. There definitely was that different vibe, and
right.
I do hope, and I could be wrong, but I hope this does lead to, if they continue Dragon Ball like with a new anime. I've said before, a Jiren anime I think could work, even though he's too OP. Maybe keeping it like a shorter series, maybe only 26 episodes or something, just about the origin of Jiren. I think could work. I think everybody will watch it. I mean, it's right. And this could be a teaser for that, but I don't know. Dragon Ball Super's done so many things that they never followed up on. So let us know what you think in the comments about this backstory. Like, do you think it opened up more questions? Do you care? Because I've seen some people say they don't even care anymore. That they just don't give a damn about Jiren anymore.
I heard that a lot of people say that. I mean, there's still a lot more information, and the fact that we can get a lot more out of this, will be interesting. There's still more. There's definitely still more. Hopefully, they do what they've done in other series, which is basically, at least at the end of this, we see maybe a resolve in Jiren, and he just like starts telling us what's going on, like why he really is doing this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they'll do that, maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. It's just more unanswered questions. Like, there's still so many things we don't know. Check out TR4G1C. I had to squeeze it in one more time, bro. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. The man's always streaming and always talking to y'all. So good times.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.